Hello, everyone. It's me, Z64, back at it again with another horrible mic banger. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to use my Dragon Engine shader that I've been working on for the past, oh shit, 6 months? That's very long. Anyways, obviously you'll need a model. So I'm gonna import. You know what? I'm not gonna do a Yakuza character this time. Yeah, Virtual Fighter. Y'all ain't play Virtual Fighter? Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get frick. I'm crashing out. Okay. Tops. Let's get freaking. I don't know. Mm, yeah. You know what? Never mind. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go get a character that most of you will know. Let's go get it from Gaiden. Let's get my goat, bro. Shishido. Forgot. Anyways, yeah, just wait for this. Da 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 da. Boom. Boom. Okay, bro. Bad organization. Okay. Face. Shishido. All right. Now, I actually, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm also gonna get rid of this mask. I don't want this mask right now. There we freaking go. And now we're just gonna, boom. We're gonna go to external data and then go to Gaiden, a PNG high res folder. Ignore that. And now we have Shishido. Now we put him into lighting. We put him into lighting. And like you see that subsurface. Like I talked about this in one of my episodes, one of the tutorial episodes. It's been a while since I forgot a lot of what happened in them. But yeah, you see how this looks, and none of this is game accurate. Like look at freaking Shishido's eyes. This is not how eyes look in Dragon Engine. This is not how hair looks in DE. I mean, to an extent it does, but like this is for sure not how skin looks in Dragon Engine. But yeah, I'm not gonna show it up on screen because I don't feel like editing this. So yeah, so what you want to do is you want to append. You want to go to Blender. Where the hell is it? Oh my goodness. Okay, you just want to find where you freaking put it. Oh my goodness. Why is Kazuhiro Miller here? Yeah, you just want to find where you put your stuff. So, and just import these three. That's all you need. Append. Let's start with the general DE shader. This one is universal and works for everything. Just don't use them eyes or hair. I advise highly. Now, let's put our Neo shader in frame. Look at this beautiful bastard. Get him out of here. Dragon Edge shader. Boom. Now, I'm gonna go over. Okay, let's plug these in. You know what these sections do. Diffuse. This is color space sRGB for this shader. Just keep that in mind. MT, MT alpha, the normal map, wrinkle map, RT, frick. Wait, wait. Yeah. Then subsurface scattering. Yeah, you can see there's barely a change. That's intentional. That is intentional. Anyways, what do these do? I'm gonna actually talk about what I'm not showing here. So yeah, let's go to the MT first. You see that? You see this? You see this? See how there's like alpha? You want to go here? Boom. You're actually like there's actually like a hidden layer of stuff. Like you go into the color, you could see that this is just like a mask for stuff that isn't like being used. And the reason why this is there is that, like, let's look at the lips, for example. We take this off, the noise texture gets engulfed with it. So we don't want that. So what we do is we have an empty alpha so that we can control the intensity of the noise. Because, yeah, hold on. Yeah, this one. Oh, yeah. One more thing. Let's turn on subsurface translucency for any material subsurface scatter. So yeah, if it has a TR texture or if it's hair, then put turn on subsurface. Anyways, yeah, we know what MT does, normal, whatever, TS, noise, TR, we know this shit, you know. Now, what does this mean? The noise strength, you can just this is just like a 1 to 0 factor. It turns off or on the noise depending on what you desire. You can turn it off if you want, completely off, completely on. It doesn't really matter what you do, but it do keep in mind that you're gonna lose that extra bit of detail if you put it to 0. And the wrinkle map factor actually controls this. Now, in most cases, you don't want to move these at once, like how they are like this. All at once, you don't want that. So, that's where the frick is it? Oh my goodness, I have to get it from another I have to get it from another blend file. I have to get it from another file. Oh my goodness, this will be in the final release. I guarantee it, bro. But yeah, I guarantee that this will be in the final release. But yeah, the wrinkle map. Hold on. I made a mask. This isn't really my creation. It's actually just like reorganized from what Galen did. This is not very complicated, just kind of organized pretty shit. But yeah. So this TS mask just makes it so that it uses the RGB color values here to control what part of the TS texture is being shown. So I can make him look like he's angry, which doesn't really make sense for this. Or I can make his mouth like super like this, which is weird. Why is it masked like that? That's so odd. Left nose, right nose. Okay, there we freaking go. It's just a weird mask. Okay, she should have. Yeah. Then we have the eyes. Yeah, we can control this. You can have the TS mask if you want, but it's not really needed. As for this stuff, metallic strength, this just multiplies, I think, this channel, the red channel. So this isn't actually multiplying the red channel. I think it is. I don't feel like checking. Glossiness is importing the blue channel. Is this is like it's like adding on top of the blue channel. One is just what's there already. Roughness is like a certain slider. I don't feel like checking what it is. This turn, like if it's at 1, it's turning it into glossiness, and if it's at 0, it's just roughness. We don't want that. So yeah, we're turning the glossiness into roughness with this. So the glossiness strength is like if you put it at 0, it's like super glossy. 1 is what you see here, basically. Occlusion strength, if you put it at 0, you have the green channel maximum. You can put it lower, by the way. So I put it at -1, and like this looks like a cartoon. I can see why someone would like this, but personally, I'm not putting it at this. Like, or I could put it at -5. You see, at this point, you just gotta just put it at 0. But like, you also shouldn't put it too high either, because even at like 1, it looks kind of whatever. But it's all up to you. I love usually putting it at 0.25 because that's basically my comfort zone here. Now, for imperfections, this is like, this doesn't really matter all that much. We are going to be talking about this later. We're actually going to be using the same shader on this clothes, but, and then imperfections factor. This is just this texture. We'll talk about it later. Specular. This is basic stuff. Specular tint. It just changes the color of highlights. That's really it. Put it to green Kiwami. Boom. There, green highlights. Yeah. Then the IOR level, this just changes the intensity of the highlights. Yeah, it's nothing special here. Anyways, let's go on to a cloth material. Not this one, though. Let's get that beautiful jacket. Boom. Frick. Um, there we go. Okay. Can I get the one? There I freaking go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So we're gonna just plug these in real quick. By the way, I'm not editing this at all. Oh yeah, make sure every texture that is a diffuse or repeating diffuse, so RD or DI, is sRGB, because it won't look right otherwise. Bad example. Oh shit. Okay. Imperfections. Just put imperfections here anyway. Jacket, MT, and DI. All right, we're done here. Now, let's go here. Imperfection strength. I wouldn't put this maximum. It doesn't really matter what your strength is. The factor is like the most important thing. It's like if your factor is super low, then like you're gonna have like a very slight effect. But like you don't need this effect. Like Shishido didn't even have it by default. Like, yeah. So the strength of the imperfections is just like how harsh it's going, and the imperfection factor is like how much you see those imperfections. You can put this as zero if your factors are one. It doesn't really matter. It only matters when you're lowering the factor. So I usually keep the imperfection strength as zero and the factor like relatively low, but not that zero if it has imperfections. But if it doesn't, just leave it the way it is. Just keep these both at zero. We don't need them. And go to imperfection A or set default C. Anyways, yeah, we're done with the skin and the general shader. What about the hair? We'll cover that later. Let's cover the eyes. I think this one is the most complex. Yakuza hair shader. We're using this one. So yeah, as you import this, you can immediately see the eyes look. They very much look. So yeah, you're gonna plug in these textures as they do. And then obviously, yeah, yeah. Now that you see, automatically, we have better reflections. Like, it reacts to light, even though you can barely see it. Let me up the caustic reflection. So yeah, this concave vector, I'll get into that in a little bit. Caustic, hold on. Caustic roughness, you can change that, but like, I'll talk about this later. Let me just put this to 5 so you can see it. So yeah, long story short, you can move the eyes and they will reflect just like this was a real eye. But they don't dilate, which isn't great. But I do have a fix, and that is the parallax node. You add this to the diffuse texture and that concave vector part. The factor, I like to put it at 0.125. I would not put it over 75 though. Like any higher and it gets ridiculous. Like who has pupils that's dilated? Like you can put at one, it's not gonna kill you, but like still. Anyways, I'll put it at 25.25 for now. So anyways, lens roughness. You see that? You see that reflection? See that reflection here? Yeah, you see that? Gone. Strong. Okay, let me hide Shishido's eyelashes right now. Yeah. Um, yeah, so yeah, just keep this at default. Anyways, let's put this at default. Caustic roughness is actually like how far will the eye, how much will the eye look like this? Like at 0 it looks like this, at 1 it looks like this. Like when I first was starting out, I used to put it at 0.5 because that's what I saw. This is a perfectly fine way to put it. And then I realized maybe if I put it at 0.35, I'll get that reflection. Looks a little bit unrealistic. So I just like to put out what I've set for myself, which works, 635, and it looks great, in my opinion. Caustic intensity, like I showed, it just shows how strong is this reflection. I can put it at 100 and it's like, oh my goodness, do not do this. I can put it at 10 and it's like, oh my goodness, that is bright. See it from a mile away. I put it at 1, it's just the base texture, just a little bit darker. Like, yeah. I put it at 0, you zoom in super close, you still can't see it. Because the caustic intensity is entirely dependent on specular tints. You're gonna have to deal with that stuff. I just like to put it at 3. If it's not like a super high, like if their eyes are like super bright by default, I'm just gonna put them at 3 because that's like my. I like seeing bright eye. I like seeing the caustic reflection. It's like, yeah, and then iris emission is just you put this at 1, you can put this whatever color you want. Boom. You have emit. You can your eyes emit. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys. Hold on. Put this at 0. When you zoom in with the parallax node, look at that. Look at his eye. Look at this one. Beautiful. And then there's that one. Horrendous. See my fix? Just go into sculpt mode or do this. Just select the other eye. That's the bad eye, basically. Then you're gonna shift A, Z, or on scale, press S, and then you're gonna press X, and then you're gonna press negative. And then you're just gonna put -1 inside, or you can do it here, -1. But yeah, just reverse the UV because you're not really gonna be using that, and boom, beautiful parallax. Look at that. It's almost like there's actual mesh data going on there, when there literally isn't. Look at that. See how fascinating that is? No, just me. Okay. Um. Yeah, so we can continue explaining the occlusion color. I kind of forgot what this did, but yeah, it's self-explanatory. This is also self-explanatory. This is the same as ambient occlusion. I don't really like to use this, but you can if you want to. Now, these are all for the iris. The color settings right here. The hue, it changes the color of the iris, so you can have blue eyes if you want. You can have green eyes. Oh my goodness, Kiwami. We can go 0.3, purple, 0.45. We have a sort of pinkish. Yeah, we can basically go for any color we want. Saturation is self-explanatory. 0, it's silver. And 1, it's super, super freaking colored. I like to put at 1 because I don't like really changing the section, but for DE accuracy, I would advise you to put at 0.85 because the eye texture is like slightly washed out in game compared to the actual texture, as you can see here. The value is not that. That's not what it's controlled by. The value just it's depending on the caustic reflection. It just you see how it's like super shadowy around here and stuff? Yeah, gone. If you put it at like 2 or like 50. I don't know why'd you do that. So let's just put it at 0. Keep this at 0. You don't have to change it, basically. Normal map settings, these don't really matter. The normal map angle, you can change how the caustic reflection works. Yeah, you don't have to play with this. The concave strength, self-explanatory. I wouldn't advise you to change this because it doesn't matter. Put it at 1. Oh my freaking goodness. How? Now the value should be 0. Okay. Boom. That is weird because what else did I change? Okay, I changed something. Did I? Oh, hell yeah. That's not normal. Oh, the iris emission. Frick. Oh yeah, Limbus intensity. You turn this off. You don't get that. You don't get that smooth freaking. Yeah, turn this off. Look at that. You don't get the shadow either. But like here, you also lose the Limbus. Whereas if you go just value, you do keep the Limbus. So there's a difference. Anyways, yeah, cube map color. This is what's really, really interesting. So I'm gonna go to Steam. Play this game by the way. It's awesome, but that's not what we're here for. Frick. Okay. I'm gonna have to find it in my files. Because I know I have this. Let's just go here. Because I still downloaded the game. I don't have the game now anymore because I don't freaking know. Anyways, cube map Yazawa. This is what I'm using as an example. So yeah, all DE games have a cube map texture in their data folder. You see this right here? I'm checking Like a Dragon because a favorite get to mod. So you just go cube map and the code name of the game. So let's say you want to say get them from Lost Judgment. It's cube map Coyote in that game. Or in Infinite Wealth, it's cube map Elvis. In Kiwami 2, it's cube map Lexus 2. In Kiwami N6, it's cube map Ogref. Like, yeah, basically, depending on the code name, is the Yazawa is going to change. So, yeah, we can pick literally any of these if we want to. So, I'm gonna go for. Let's go with the Millennium Tower. How about that? So, you just check these out, see which one you're rocking with. I think this one's pretty cool. And then we're done. We're done. Now, you don't have to change the color space. I'd much rather you not. But yeah, you just plug that into the cube map color. And then, bada bing, bada boom, we have a cube map. Now, don't put this at 1. As you can see, you just lose all the detail you had from the freaking iris. So, my suggestion would be to put it at points to make it so that it's not noticeable, but you can still see it. Like 0.05. If it's bright, then 0.05. And also, I'd suggest you get this with the Neo shader. But if you're not using this for whatever reason, yeah, you have the UV scaler. You can put this into RT, even though it's a technically a that's not what it is. This doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. You can we're gonna put this at 0 for now. So yeah, you can actually scale this to your liking. It's just you can't really scale it to your liking. So personally, I would use a UV. I would use a mapping node and then plug the vector into a UV map. You can change this if you want. I put it to UV primary. Now you can move it however you want. So you can get whatever detail you desire. Completely fine. And you don't have to deal with anything else. No filler, no bullshit, basically. And also you can make this bright based on what you want to do with your render. But yeah, also keep in mind that you shouldn't have it that like you should not be able to see through your eyes. It should be more of like a design choice and not really something that's like mandatory. So yeah, usually I don't use cube maps. You can use them if you want to. You can even use the old engine ones, but like I'd recommend against those. Those are kind of shit for DE and not really that fitting. And there's also this pretty good one in the Chara par of most games. I'm gonna go with Lost Judgment, for example. There is it's a square one, so okay, I have DDSI res 00, EG ref. See that? See this? There's this, there's this, default ref, .png, and then ref visibility. There, they got free cube maps. Free cube maps, man. And they're in a format that isn't like super hard to look at. Then we have the default ref visibility. Yeah. So basically, you can do whatever you can do whatever you want with these. But yeah, let's move on to the hair. I think I want to talk about that the most. I've talked about the eyes too much. Anyways, yeah, let's go with the hair. Um, Now I have a lot to say about this, even though my hair shader isn't perfect. So we import this, and automatically you see all this jazz. You plug in the alpha, diffuse, empty, TN, same as you would anything else. Color space, sRGB, just remember, like always. Now, immediately you'll notice a difference between what we had before and what the Neo Shader gave. Between what the Neo Shader gave us and what we have now. No, I've given you not that much options compared to the eye shader and the hair shader and the regular shader, but I've still given you a decent portion. You have basically everything you need. You have more than enough. Anyways, AB hair DIMT. This is what Shishido uses for this texture. So just like the skin, we're gonna turn on subsurface translucency, and I'm gonna show you what that does real quick. Like we turn this off, you look at his ear, for example. Look at that. Look at that. You don't really think much of it, huh? Turn off subsurface translucency. Look how less dynamic his ear looks. Like when you turn that shit on, it's glowing. Like that's how it looks. And it's awesome. But when you don't have that, you just have subsurface lighting as if it was any other surface. It's kind of whatever. So yeah, I get the freaking hair and the eyelashes back. Let me get like a cool lighting scenario. Something or like the eyes, so like this. Yes, something like this actually. This is awesome. Oh yeah, bro. So yeah, we'll go with this. And also be aware that if your sample counts are high enough, if you're using sunlight or an area light, and you put like a super high bright light, you will see artifacts, but that's okay. You can turn off subsurface translucency if you don't like that stuff. But yeah. So yeah, the hair, there's a lot of things you actually need to do. So let me just go over what these do. Let me move this light back actually. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, this is good. Anyways, roughness does what you expect it to. Ambient occlusion intensity. Now you might think that, oh, this is the green channel, just like the rest of just like everything else. Well, no, this is very much not ambient occlusion. And if you look at this hair, hold on, we remove the diffuse, you look at it, you remove the MT, you look at it, you look at that, remove the TN, and remove every texture, and then you're left with shadowy white. My goodness. That's not normal. So yeah. Now, roughness, how the hell are you gonna know what to put here? No, you can eyeball it, that's fine. But there is an easier way. Hold on. Let me move this to the left. I love seeing the cosmic reflection. You go here to Yakuza properties. Now, this is a ton of yap. You might not even know what any of this says, but yeah. You see an UNC 12 usually. There is a number that is odd one out of here. Now, you see any numbers besides 0.70? Exactly. So we're gonna give him 0.7 on his hair. And from here on, hold on, put, put on his head too. I'm gonna show you what everything else does. So yeah, the ambient occlusion intensity is actually controlled by this color 0. So we go into solid mode, we go into vertex paint. See all that green, that Kiwami? That is ambient occlusion. So so that's what's controlling it. So keep it at default. By the way, sometimes you can't use the value from UNC 12, which is perfectly fine. Anyways, Specular IOR, this works just like on the other shader. Like you can put this at 10, and I can put this at freaking this. I can put it like this if I want to. I'm gonna put it like this, 10, to make it white. 0.5. There, we have you can change this if you want to. Now, if you really want to be accurate, you go here to the GMD material data. You can look at all of these values and you get the exact texture. Now, for specular, what does this mean? All you have to do is get that, is go here, make sure you're on RGB, not HSV or hex. Just select RGB. You just select everything basically. And then you just do 10 divided by 255. And then you have the number that is being shown. And then the power is 1. That's just telling you how strong it is. So you put out 1 if you want to be game accurate. But usually that's lame. I don't use that. I like to put it at 10, put speculation here, and then we're gangster, you know what I'm saying? We gang for real. At the same time, this can look like not the greatest at times. So it's perfectly fine if you choose not to use it sometimes. So yeah, normal map settings is only normal. Now what the hell does this mean? Um, it is what it means. So usually a normal map Not in this case though. A Dragon Engine normal map has one part of its normal, which is the X axis. The X buffer is being controlled in the red channel, and the Y buffer is stored in the green channel. Now, in an old engine normal, the the X buffer is in the alpha channel. There is no red channel. The green channel is the Y buffer. There is no blue channel, and there is none in usually Yakuza. It doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, is OE normal? I will add this slider to my this one, but it won't be OE compatible. Just so you know. This is just for like in case your model like you're using the noise texture from Kiwami 2, basically. Stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, this is basically what it means. Subsurface weights and scale are also pretty much stuff you know. You just play around with these settings. You can put at 1 meter, you can put it, no, don't put it at 0 because that's the entire point, basically. Let's put at 1. How about that? So we can have a ridiculous texture. Holy shit. Okay. Too much. Too freaking much. Alright. As you can see, we definitely got some backscatter on that hair that you wouldn't have if you didn't put your subsurface up. So yeah, let's deal with this for the rest of the video. So yeah, you can have it high or low if you want. Emission strength. Now this isn't subsurface at all, but this is actually related to backscatter. So if the backscatter you're being given by EV, if you're using 4.2, it's not as much of a problem. But if you're not getting satisfactory backscatter from EV, then you use this to sort of balance it out. I wouldn't put this maximum because then you have a freaking anime character, and like unless that's what you're going for, I wouldn't suggest it. I'd stay under 2 unless they have like short dark, unless they have bright hair. I would stay under 2. I personally wouldn't use this a lot. Only for characters like Ichiban when there's like ridiculous, like you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, anisotropy. Let's put this at 0.5 for default, just so we have some subsurface, but it's not the worst. Anyways, yeah, anisotropy on and off. You can see what this does. Basically, this is just specular on steroids. Now, noise anisotropy. What is that? I So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the red channel from this, and the red channel is what's used for anisotropic rotation. So I'm using that as a bump map and plugging it into a noise anisotropic filter. Not really, but like you get what I'm saying. Um yeah, so the more you increase this, the more different your stuff looks. You can change this if you want to. It all depends on how you really want stuff to look. Like you have to know how you want your stuff to look. But yeah, basically. Boom, that is all of my shaders. But I think there's still one more thing to talk about. Go here. You want to go to a shader that doesn't have more than 3 textures, like mouth. I highly advise you to go to your mouth shader, the mouth shader that you have right now. The mouth material that you have right now, I highly advise you to go to it, and then go to the subsurface. You go make it white, it looks like this. You make it black, it looks like this. So find a good middle ground. You saw how it looked like on Shishido. So yeah, boom. Now we have, look at my glorious king in HD in Blender. All we need to do is animate him, or pose him, or render him. You can do whatever you want with this stuff. Just don't try to export a model with it. Like, I'll show you why. So I give you this. I'll try to export it CCF. Frick. Whatever. Shishido. Watch. See? You try exporting, you get this problem. So don't try exporting with the shader. This is like, you have to have the Neo shader if you want to export this to blend to DE and you want to port it, of course, but like if you want to use this for renders, this is perfectly fine. That's why it's public. So yeah, now you know how to use this thing, just in case you're wondering.